Today marks 1297 days sharing lessons I learn and continue to learn with all of you. But I hope these lessons will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about personal seasons. I really love this topic because I truly believe that sometimes we need to align our actions with the season that we are in. Now, sometimes we want to be in a good season, but we are not. So we're supposed to not wish for a better season. We're supposed to be wishing for knowing what is the best action for me right now. And today we'll share personal seasons, of course. I love that the seasons is like autumn, that there's winter, there's spring, there's summer. And I think that the life is exactly the same way. We have a season to life, and we need to really maximize that season. Because if you're doing the wrong thing, do the wrong if you're doing the right thing in the wrong season, when the right time will come, we will not do the right thing anymore because we think that it doesn't work. But when you're really planting a seed that's supposed to be planted in the spring and you're planting that seed in the winter, of course, a seed is dying and is dead, and you don't have any more seeds, and you don't planning to really plant any plant because say, oh, the seeds doesn't work. This action doesn't work. This execution doesn't work. No, execution works. Those seeds works. Everything works. You just planted that seed in the wrong time. Today I will share what we need to know about seasons and how we able to really execute in the best possible way based on those seasons. Because I already done this lesson in the past, but I truly believe that this lesson is worth reflecting on constantly, just to make sure that I'll be asking that question. Okay, so what season I'm in right now? Because sometimes I just want to read books just one after another, after another, after another. And it seems that it's just really gathering information. Like you just really are consuming information. Sometimes you don't want to see books anymore because you just want to really execute. So it means what could be the best season? That means winter is the best time to really absorb information, absorb things. When is the best time execution? Spring, summer, when you really harvest all the things. So it means that understanding what I do in a season will allow to execute on the right things. Because if you are in a season where you're supposed to harvest, you take a lot of action, but you the only thing that you do is reflecting. And now when you are in the winter season, you try to execute, but there's massive misalignment. So what are those 4 seasons? So first one is rest, renewal, growth, harvest. And I think the growth happens when we plant the seed. There's a lot of growth, and I was able to harvest that. So that means being able to really ask the right questions, understanding what are that season for. I think that's again the most important part. What is that season for? So when I think about winter, the winter is stillness, and I have that visual in my mind. Of course, I live in Lithuania, and there's of course we have 4 strong seasons, and being able to really visualize the snow, the dark night, and the snowflakes just slowly going on the ground, or just going for a walk and hearing that crunch of the snow. That is a stillness of that winter, and being able to really reflect or rest, incubate, grief, like all those kind of settled emotions that we need to understand, that you need really deep learning, deep healing. All those is that there's a lot of times there's like a wisdom gathering season, because a lot of times other seasons are not for wisdom gathering; it is for execution. So winter is a great thing because we're able to really gather that wisdom, and that's very very important. So it means to be conserving life in ourselves. And that means that if you hustle during winter season, you will not achieve anything. We need to hustle for the winter. That means during winter, we need to really build that wisdom, inner wisdom, heal, just to make sure that we prepare for another season. For example, spring is reawakening. And I think that spring is a beautiful phase because it gives clarity, it gives new ideas, it gives new hope. Some incremental improvement steps towards something beautiful. So that's where you start to feel inspiration to really take action, initiate things. And when you have that initiation, that means that I have inspired to do something. I want to innovate. I want to take action. I want to be bold. That again shows that you are in the spring season, because that is a season of beginning, of planting the seeds. And I think that when we want to make sure that we don't rush. We're not able to rush, but again, we want to really take actions on that. Explore. And the sometimes could be feeling scattered in the spring because there are so many things to try, so many things to do. As curiosity kicks in, but being able to really put yourself and explore, this is the best place to do. Third season is summer, and it's a beautiful summer because this is the momentum. Because everything started in the spring. You plant the seed, you water the seeds, that you bring a lot of sun to that seed, and now it starts to grow. And there's momentum is building. That means if you actually do the right thing during spring, you will have momentum in the summer. Now, one thing is that's unfortunately, if you miss spring and you're trying to plant the seed in the summer, that means that it will not grow something meaningful till the summer end. That means that we need to wait a whole season until we'll be able to plant the seed again. So this is very, very important. When you feel inspired, when you feel curious, not to reflect anymore. Reflection is for winter. So when you feel inspired, just do the action, just execute. Because when you execute that, you plant the seeds, you will build momentum, and that momentum will carry you all on to another season. It's very important to understand how you feel, and then act in according with that. Now, of course, if you always feel disappointed, you're not able to be winter all the time. We need to act based on our vision. But in general, if you say that I feel inspired and you still reflect, that's not the time to reflect. You need to execute. So the momentum, the summer is for growth, energy, productivity, really for results, alignment. That's where we feel the most confident in, because you start to see there is those small wins, small incremental wins start to compound, and of course that builds more courage, more confidence, and you want to do even more. So that's an exciting moment, because you see the fruits of your effort. Most times spring, you just plant it. It puts a lot of effort, and when you plant the seeds in the ground, there's nothing. Basically, it's a flat ground, and it means you need to water and plant and work. And at some point in the summer, it sprouts of the ground. And I think that's with our actions and executions. That means in the summer, in the season, we start to see our effort, the effort that we put in. I think it's very, very important. And as again, we are able to see, okay, like when you start to see the fruits of our action, that's the summer season. Being able, because when you start to see those results, we're not supposed to stop. We don't need to push more water, because at some point we'll be able to harvest. And that's again, this requires a lot of energy to harvest all the work, all the execution, all the action that you put in. That means it is not your rest time. It's a really being able to work even harder to get all the things that you deserve, that you earn. I think it's a beautiful season. And the last one, number 4, is autumn transition. I think that we are not able to really execute all the time. We need to really transition into the other season. We need to really let go of all the things, and really again start to understand that we need to make that transition back into the stillness, because we need to have a stillness to reflect on all the things that work, what didn't work. But autumn is a great transition, though, so slowing down, because you took such a massive effort, such a massive execution, and now you start to slow down a little bit until you finally reach the winter, and you are very slow and very still and very present, and you're able to reflect. But autumn is a transition. That means that it's insight, like it might be reevaluate things, retest, and really allow the things to fade away. That means not be afraid, because there's more moody, more emotions, more nostalgia, like a lot of different emotions coming to because you just think what happened, all the effort that you put in. And again, this is the seasons when we're supposed to live all our lives. That means that we reflect, we are still, we are present, we are mindful, then be curious, be inspired, we take a lot of action. That means that we build up momentum, we execute in a massive pace, we harvest results, and then we move into transition, slowing down to move to that winter, to that presence and reflection and wisdom. And when you really build that cycle, you're able to go after bigger and bigger and bigger things in life. Now, the only thing is that in life, there's 4 seasons. Basically, every season is for 3 months. In personal life, that's not about how it is. Winter is the shortest, and of course, you don't want to spend like 3 months in the winter season in a personal life. Sometimes it's enough only 1 month. Sometimes 3 months. It depends on what kind of project you work on. So 1 month of winter of reflection of that season. Then probably 3 months will be about spring. That means that you're really inspired, trying, exploring, execution. Then the majority of the time will be summer. And summer is all about execution, making things that you make things happen. So like let's say that winter is 1 month, spring is 3 months, so 4 months. We have about 4 months, and then we probably are just thinking about probably like 6 months of summer where we execute, and then 2 months of transition out. It could be like a plus minus. Again, this is not a rule, but I think that's how it's supposed to be in life and if you pursue a business, if pursue ideas. So 1 or 2 months of winter, 3 months plus minus of spring. A majority of time is the summer, building momentum or running with the momentum, and then 1 or 2 months is of transition, making sure that we're able to slow down a little bit, not kick everything down, slow down, just be able to really reflect on and prepare for next season, just to make sure that we have new energy. So how do you reflect as well? Do you execute based on season, and how do you feel on this particular season of your life? I think that is very powerful. Really align your actions, align yourself with your season. So I hope you just win, and see you tomorrow.